Hey friends, and welcome back to Old Mill Homestead. So today gonna kind of look like this. It's been nuts here. I'll insert some footage today. We've been under tornado watch for about 3 hours and it's finally been lifted. We have not been called out, which is always a good thing because that means no one in our community needed us, which is good, but we're starving. So I wanted to we're gonna do melt in your mouth chicken from scratch. We're gonna do macaroni from scratch. We're gonna do some green beans and some rolls. I'm not gonna show the rolls. I'll show them to you afterwards. They're the same ones I made before, and I can post the recipe down below. It's from scratchpantry.com. So we're gonna get all this done. Our kitchen, look at my poor kitchen. So this is what we're dealing with. So in the middle of the storm, we had the wind was blowing so bad that it actually blew into the French doors, and so we had to peel this piece up, and we've got some water damage going there, and so we are trying to get that dried out, and then we'll get the flooring put back down eventually whenever that gets dried out. But I wanted to go ahead and get us going. So I've got the rolls in the oven. I've got the macaroni getting ready to get up to boil, and Nick is home with me, so we've got a lot going on. I've got baked oatmeal that I made a little bit ago, kind of sitting out on the counter, and I would like to go ahead and get this dinner put together. That way if we do get called out, at least we've had something to eat. So let's swing around and we'll get started. All right, so I've got my pasta ready to go in. It's up to a boil, so I'm just gonna pour that in and let it cook. I went ahead and back here and shredded some cheese for the macaroni. I used some white cheddar, and then I also used some sharp cheddar. I did not follow the recipe exactly because some of what it called for I do not have on hand. So I just wanted to use what I have on hand. And then I will also show you the rolls are done. So like I said, I did not show me making those. I've made them before, and I can link the recipe below. It's from scratchpantry.com from Becky with Acre Homestead. So the others, I just need to get my pasta going, the oven's preheating, get my chicken going, and then everything can go in and we will be ready to eat. So we'll be back as soon as the pasta gets ready and I've got the chicken ready. I've got our chicken. It was actually frozen. I forgot to take it out last night, so I put it in the microwave to kind of thaw it a little bit, and I want to slice it in half because it's fairly thick chicken, so I want to slice it in half. I might have nuked it too long in the microwave. It's pretty warm, but I checked it several times and it was definitely not ready to come out. Or I mean, it was still frozen, so hopefully it cooks up. Okay, let me get this thrown away, wash my hands, and I'll be right back. Got my pasta boiling back here. It calls for a cup of sour cream. I'm just gonna use the rest of this sour cream. And then it calls for some Parmesan cheese, and I already have that shredded up. So we're just gonna pour that. Let me get back to the recipe. It says to add a little bit more at the end, so I'm just gonna put the majority of it, and then I'll save back just a little bit of Parmesan, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Here's our garlic powder. We're gonna add our pepper. And then we're gonna add our salt. My pepper container broke. Luckily, my mother-in-law had just gotten me these for Christmas, so I was able to use these, and it kind of shows you where your level is. Unfortunately, all the salt the Redmond salt that I had in that glass container, I had to throw out. We did try to sift it, but we kept getting pieces of glass out of it. So that was very sad. But I did have some left, so that was a good thing. Okay. And then we need sour cream, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a cup of Parmesan cheese. And we're gonna mix this around. As like many of the recipes, I have never made this before. So hopefully it comes out because we're hungry. We have not eaten anything. Okay, so it says to add this mix to our chicken. Put them in a line and then add this mix. It's got a really pretty color. I don't know if you can see that. It says to add this on top of our chicken. And then we're gonna bake this for 25 to 35 minutes. And then it says that they prefer the chicken to be broiled after that for a couple minutes. There is a lot of this mixture, so I'm glad that I did half the chicken breast. And I've got my, I don't know if y'all can hear the wind still whipping. Oh, look, I got an apron. I know some of y'all, I don't have it tied right, but some of y'all had mentioned to get an apron. I do. I got two, and I've been wearing this one cooking today. From Amazon, I think is where I got it. So the chicken's ready. We're gonna go ahead and pop it in for, I already forgot, 25 to 30 minutes. And then we'll get finished on the macaroni. Okay, so I've got my pasta drained, and so it wants us in a Dutch oven or a big pan to put our butter in. And I'm gonna go ahead and use all the butter. It says 6 tablespoons, but I used 8, and that's fine. So let's go over here and check out the pasta. So it tells us to pour the pasta in. I just rinsed this out and cleaned it from when I had the chicken mix, the topping for the chicken in here. And it says to drizzle some extra virgin olive oil over it. And then just kind of mix that together. To our butter, it says to add 1/3 cup of flour. So we're just gonna add that in and let that continue to melt down, which it's still melting down. This macaroni recipe kind of has me all over the place. Okay, so let's get the butter melted down until that is combined. It says over medium heat. I've got the chicken in the oven. Probably should have cut that butter before I put it in there. Probably make this a lot easier. So it calls for 3 cups of whole milk. This is a 2-cup measure. And to kind of pour it in gradually. And then also 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Go ahead and add the other cup. And then 1 cup whipping cream. So while that's incorporating, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other cup of whipping cream out. So this one has me a little frazzled, not gonna lie. I guess because I've never made any of it before outside the rolls, and it's just been kind of a crazy day today, and I'm not a cook, as we've all talked about in many videos. So hopefully it comes out well. It's probably not as gradual as it had intended for me to do, but that's what I did. Okay, so I can already tell you that I'm not going to do the recipe the way it says to do it below. You're supposed to mix all this together, then put it in the oven, add panko breadcrumbs and some smoked paprika and let it bake for 30 minutes. That's not going to happen. So the chicken has about 13 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and add in how I'm going to do it. And you can either follow me or follow the recipe, but whichever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and add to this mixture our pasta, and then the cheese that I shredded earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. This kitchen is a hot mess, as am I, as you can tell. So we're gonna add that in. I'm gonna go ahead and put I am gonna do some of the paprika in there. I'm just not gonna do the bake it, mess up another dish. This being the third dish for this that I've already messed up. So I'm not gonna keep messing up dishes when I can just cook it on the stovetop. It obviously won't have the breadcrumbs, but I think it's gonna be just fine. So we're gonna get that stirred in and then add some pepper and some salt. I went ahead in the back and put my had to get my husband. There's a spider in the house. You can do a lot to me, right? You can put me out on a lot of different things, but don't put a spider around me. Can't do it. So had to get his attention to come kill the spider. So I'm going to turn this up just a little bit and just actually I'm going to leave it and let that continue to incorporate all the cheese. That looks so good, y'all. I've got my green beans on the back here. It was just a can of Greenwise organic green beans. I did not do fresh green beans. I've actually never tried to do that. Eventually I will, but not today, right? Today's just kind of like, I want to get us something on the table to eat that's not running out for a meal, like fast food or to a restaurant. I would like to make it from scratch. That looks so good. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's still incorporating. So the rolls are done. The green beans just need to heat up. Chicken's got about 10 more minutes, and I'm just gonna let this incorporate on the stove while we're waiting, and then we'll pull it all together and I will bring you guys back. This took about 25 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, somewhere around in there. Super simple. Would have taken way longer. We live in a rural area. Would have taken way longer to get ready, go get something, bring it back, or get ready, go eat, then bring it back when we could do something quick and simple here. So we'll be back and let you see the finished product in a few. The chicken is done. I just actually checked it with the thermometer just to triple check, and it's all done. So we're gonna pull it out. That's what it's looking like. Hopefully that's what it's supposed to look like. All right, let me show you guys what we have. So we have our macaroni, which I just left on the stove. I did not do all the extra steps that it called for. And then our chicken, it's called Melt in Your Mouth Chicken. I have green beans on the back, and then our rolls that we made earlier. Like I said, all this will be linked below. Try to get you a shot of all of it. There we go. So all of that will be linked below. We are getting ready to eat and then run up next door and see mom and dad for a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I didn't follow the exact macaroni recipe, but it is what it is. I don't have to have breadcrumbs on my macaroni. All I could just find, it smells so good. So we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.